Here's some weird stats from this weekend, Bill. It was kind of a strange weekend for football, but Memphis wide receiver Antonio Gibson became the first FBS player this season to score a touchdown 3 different ways. And all went longer than 50 yards in their 54-48 win over SMU that you guys picked the wrong way. And then I just felt obliged to go with you because I sure as heck didn't think that. Arkansas has 2 17-game SEC losing streaks since 2012, including their current active streak. Arkansas, boy, don't you wish you were in the Big 12?
Man, you remember when Arkansas used to be good? Like Darren McFadden.
Oh, yeah.
You know, competing. It looked like, and this was like right on the verge of when Alabama was going to take off and do their dynasty.
Boy,
run
McFadden was a man among boys, wasn't he?
Well, you had McFadden, and then you had Felix Jones.
That's right. That was I was trying to think. Who was the other guy that went to Dallas?
And they were crushing it. And but they would always end up like 8-3 or 9-2, and you would think they could kind of compete, but they'd always let you down. But they were good.
Yeah, they were. Bill, Purdue's last 16 touchdowns have been scored by freshmen. That's encouraging. Plus, they beat Nebraska, which is funny.
So in 3 years from now, they're going to be really, really good?
No, they'll still be who they are.
Okay.
It's Purdue. Clemson running back Travis Etienne averaged 23.6 yards a carry in their 59-14 Wofford. Okay, let's forget that then. How about Oregon quarterback Justin Herbert completed 20 of his final 21 passes in the Ducks' 56-24 beatdown over USC. How about this one, Bill? Maryland scored more points in its first 2 games, 142. How about this? Oklahoma State running back Chuba Hubbard became the first player to rush for 200 yards against TCU since Gary Patterson became the head coach.
Put that team on his back.
That goes back to 2000. Hubbard rushed for 223 yards on 20 carries with 2 touchdowns. It was his 7th consecutive game of at least 100 yards, the longest active streak in FBS. Georgia, this is a great stat, Bill, is the only FBS team that is not allowed a rushing touchdown this season. How impressive is that? Rutgers is 0-6 in the Big Ten with all losses by at least 28 points. The second longest such streak in conference history. The longest, Bill, was Northwestern's 9 consecutive games. But the Scarlet Knights still have a chance. They got Ohio State, Michigan State, and Penn State to close it out. So that'll be fun. And then OSU TCU, Bill. Gundy needs to go. Sanders only threw 9 passes, or completed 9. That's the lowest number of passes Oklahoma State's completed in a game since 2009, I believe.
So when you have games like that to where you rely so heavily on your running game, then you have games that go the opposite where you lose by 20 and you've passed it 50 times a game. How does that not express to coaches that you need more balance in your offense?
I think at this point they're just trying to find ways from one play to the next to have balance. With the loss of Tylan Wallace, I think they're kind of feeling their way through it, but you make a great point. Bill, TCU rushed 39 times for 163 yards. That's not great. The guy that's really impressive for TCU is Rager. That guy, that first time he caught the ball across the middle, and he made like 2 little juke steps. And as a former defensive back, when I saw that, and because you were looking right at it from the DB standpoint with the overhead camera looking at him, he made 2 moves. I wet my pants. Hubbard, 20 carries, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a 93-yard and a 53 or 63-yard run. The guy that really was impressive, and I don't know if you read this, Bill, but apparently Sean Gleason, the offensive coordinator, gathered up the wideouts Wednesday evening after it was obvious that Wallace was done for the year, and basically said, all right, and it was more of a rhetorical question. He said, I want to know who's going to step up and be the guy. Dylan Stoner walked out of the circle into the middle of the circle and said, "I'm the guy." Stoner had 3 catches for 93 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Braden Johnson, Bill, made a catch laying on his back, and that's the guy I was telling you about that I thought might have to be the guy to step up because he's got the speed, pretty good size. He made a nice play.
You're listening to Excessive Celebration, bringing that flute on Crossover Radio, reminding you, get that app.